In 80 Days, adventurer and award-winning filmmaker Paul G. Roberts retraces the global footsteps of Phileas Fogg, hero of Jules Verne's most famous work.
Vedi, Napoli, e poi muori, which translated means see Naples and die, which I almost did. Let me show you. Trigger alert. This is not for the faint of heart. I have this scar running down from my abdomen all the way down past my navel. I have 30 staples in my stomach. I had emergency surgery in Naples, so for me, Vedi Napoli e poi muori, see Naples and die, has a special significance. Translated it means see Naples and die, but it was actually quoted by the famous Wolfgang Goethe, whose meaning, while in his grand tour across Europe, basically what he meant was that Naples is a city so beautiful, so spectacular, that once you have seen it with art and history and culture, you will never need to see another city.
Living in the shadow of Vesuvius. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favour fire. Robert Frost. Sitting atop one of the world's most active chains of volcanoes that runs from Vesuvio all the way down to Mount Etna in Sicily, Napoli is all about desire and fire. Viewed from the top of Mount Vesuvius, the city of Naples looks like a densely woven blanket wrapped snugly around the volcano's slopes. From up here, with sunlight glinting off the broad crescent of the Bay of Naples, far from the din of traffic, Naples and its surrounding suburbs look peaceful. This tranquility makes it all the more difficult to imagine the worst-case scenario that volcanologists believe Vesuvius could inflict on Neapolitans, a repeat performance of the AD 79 eruption that famously destroyed the Roman towns Pompeii and Herculaneum. When Vesuvius goes, it really goes. And in this scenario, Vesuvius does not ooze lava and throw up a few rocks as, say, Hawaiian volcanoes do. The pressure from below just builds and builds until it goes off like a bomb, sending a superheated column of rock, ash, and gases 20 kilometers into the sky. And within hours, this rolling mixture of gas and dust collapses back and roars down the slopes at up to 240 kilometers per hour, headlong towards the 600,000 people living around its base. These pyroclastic flows can blast through stone walls up to 3 meters thick and can flash fry all living matter they touch. And beyond this annihilation zone, ash and volcanic rock fragments called tephra shower down on a wide area, quickly accumulating enough material, up to 500 kilograms per square meter, to collapse roofs, burying people alive. The urban sprawl of Naples is surrounded by 3 active volcanoes, Vesuvius, Ischia, and the Campi Flegrei. The good news for modern-day Naples is that, so far, there is no sign of a head of steam building under the volcano. But just to be sure, it's being watched around the clock by the Vesuvius Observatory. It's unclear when, just like it did for Pompeii in 79 AD, but Napoli is definitely a place that ends in fire.
Extraordinary and mysterious. Naples is a city full of contradictions. It's a metropolis that never fails to surprise.
Every day, its vicoli, the narrow streets, reveal centuries of hidden history. Its neighbourhoods tell of unique traditions. And the vista from on high paints a breathtaking panorama, from the ancient fortifications of its famous bay to a still very active Vesuvio. Dating back some 4,000 years, Naples is one of the oldest cities in the world. Greek settlers established an early colony here about 2,000 years BC, and by the 6th century BC, that erected the ancient city of Naples. The distinct Neapolitan culture was born, and then even survived after the Romans conquered the area.
Naples has been conquered and ruled by many once great civilizations, and each one of them have left their unique imprint on the DNA of the city. The Greeks, the Romans, the Moors, the Normans, the Spanish, the French, and even for a time the Americans after World War II have at one point ruled over Naples. Naples falls in the Campania region of Italy, in what is known as the Mezzogiorno, or the land of midday sun. The regions south of Rome are all called the Mezzogiorno, and it's the Italian term for midday or noon. And southern Italy is known as the Mezzogiorno because of the intensity of its sun at midday. Just like in Latin America and Colombia, where they became forever tagged with the global image of Pablo Escobar and the cocaine cartels of the 80s, the average person in the West probably knows little about Naples, aside from what they have heard about their infamous mafia, which in Naples is called the Camorra, I guess coined after the Old Testament Sodom and Gomorrah.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that did deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you talking and where you walking, or you and your homies might get lined and chalk. I really hate to trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of their lives living in the...
Throughout the 20th century, Naples had problems with high unemployment and deep-rooted organised crime, with a further destruction caused by a massive earthquake that happened in 1980. However, in recent decades, especially since COVID, Naples has long been a transit point for the rich and famous. And as from the 1960s, when all of Hollywood seemed to be going in search of la dolce vita, it was the destination for many Hollywood stars as they travelled to Italy for the sweet life, and to holiday in Capri. Naples was the stepping off point for the playgrounds of the rich and famous. The jet-set charms of Capri on their mega yachts, which is understandable. And a little bit to the south, you have all the amazing Amalfi towns, especially the hill town of Positano. But in this film, I'm not going to be sidetracked and distracted by all that, or maybe just a little bit. But really, this film is all about Naples. If you want to find where the true Naples lives, you won't find it on these mega yachts. You won't find it in beautiful Capri or Positano. You'll find it in its vicoli, its narrow streets that connect the old city, the old historic part, like the one I'm walking down, where you can really feel the life force of Naples. and see thousands of years of culture in the way the people interact and experience their daily lives. So what can I tell you about Naples? Well, I've been fortunate enough, I've been blessed actually, to have visited Italy no less than, must be 15, 16, maybe even 17 times now. I've traveled through the north to the south, from Cortina in the north, in the Dolomiti, right down to the bottom of Sicily to Taormina. And every single city in Italy has something really remarkable about them, something going on for them. And to be honest, it must have been a little while before, this is my third trip I think to Naples now. And Naples isn't one of the ones that comes out on top. You know, you're always going to have Rome, you're always going to have Venice, you're always going to have Firenze for the art and Michelangelo's imprints. You'll always have Milano if you're connected with fashion at all or retail. Tuscany if you're older and you want to actually do some sort of chilled things. There's so many things to do in Italy, or right down to Sicily, which is literally you're in Africa. You can go sailing in the Mediterranean. I've done that. We've gone down the Aeolian Islands, which is a remarkable experience. But there's something about Naples which separates it, and I don't think it's really well known. Naples has it all. You know, there's not the hordes of tourists that you're really going to get pretty much any month of the year in Venice. Same with Rome. You know, there are hordes of tourists, like shoulder to shoulder, pushing, shoving. And that can really be a downer on your experience. Naples is a city where people actually live. Naples is proudly Neapolitan. From its pizza all the way through to its, you know, cocktail culture of Negronis and Aperols that have now gone around the world. And my friend Ivan once told me, I said, what makes Italian design so special? And he told me, he said, we Italians, they fussy, and they are. To them, it's not about money, it's an art. Whether it's your Lamborghini or your Ferrari, or your brand of pasta and the way that you emulsify garlic and olive oil, there's an art to it, and it transcends the way they do it when other people try and copy it. Like, you know, American pizza or New York pizza, which is just ghastly atrocious. Or anybody that just plonks pasta in boiling water and hopes for the best without it coming out, you know, al dente. Italy is the center of the universe, and Naples is the center of the center.
Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Go, go, go. You mixed up a Siciliano. All you Calabrese do the mambo like a crazy with the